Hey guys, welcome back to the course. Today we're talking about pathways to study data science. How can you get into this space? How can you study the courses? And we're going to start off by sharing a roadmap that we've prepared, which covers our courses, and you can find it at superdatascience.com/course map, course-map. And just to preemphasize this tutorial, in no way are we saying that you need to study our courses or that these are the best in the world. We think they are very good, but there are definitely other courses out there that you can explore, other providers, and we encourage you to compare for sure. But we're just going to use this map as an illustration of the different topics. So just think of the map as topics, and then you can apply this map with any kind of courses that you find online. All right, so Adlan, do you want to get started on this?
Sure, let's have a look at this roadmap. So the first thing very important to understand is where do we want to go? It's not how do we start? To understand how we want to start, we must understand where we want to go. So on this roadmap, we see, for example, that there are several different possible destinations. We can see, for example, artificial intelligence. That's a very different destination than just data science, just becoming a data scientist. Or we can see some machine learning. So you will use the machine learning to do great in data science, but you could also use the machine learning to do great in artificial intelligence. So that's really the first very important question. Where do I want to go? What do I want to be? Do I want to do research? Do I just want to do data science for consulting? So let's take maybe a few examples of like possible destinations, and let's show the way to these destinations. So let's start with, for example, simple data science. Like you want to apply data science for business or for a consulting firm to create some added values, right? So to do this, it's actually required to handle either Python or R. That's the first thing, all right? You need to handle Python or R because you're going to work on like Excel files, big Excel files, but you're going to work on a lot of data, and you're going to apply some data science algorithms or some data mining algorithms to find the significant variables that will have an impact for your dependent variable. So in that case, it's really asked by companies, is to have some basic notions of Python and R to be able to understand the models and use them. And therefore, in the roadmap, I highly recommend to either start with Python or R. You can choose. Actually, companies regularly don't impose one or two languages. They sometimes have their preference, but you can choose the one you're most comfortable with. And then, of course, you need to understand some basic statistics. Therefore, we also see statistics for business analytics. And when you put your mouse on this one, you can see the path that you would need to understand statistics for business analytics. And once you have those couple notions in Python or R and statistics for business analytics, well, you can definitely use it to combine the two to extract some added values that is good for your business. And then you have some other tools that are very good because, for example, if you're doing some consulting, well, it's great to be able to make some nice charts for visualization, to present that to the customers or your managers. And therefore, I think it's really, really good to be good at Tableau. So you have Tableau 10 Basic and Tableau 10 Advanced. I would recommend to start with, of course, Basic and then move on to Advanced, because really, really you can do some great stuff with Tableau. And eventually, today we see a lot of positions in consulting that are related to marketing. And therefore, as you can see on the roadmap, we see data-driven marketing. And that's definitely a thing to consider to be successful in a digital marketing position.
Okay, man, you pretty much went through the whole map right there. So like, I don't have much left to say. Let's take a specific type of data science, and we'll look at the map, and I'll show you how I would read it. So let's say, like, I don't want to do programming. Like, I totally fair that you need to do programming if you want to get into like data science for business and create some models and some statistics. But let's say I want to get started easy in data science. I don't want to do modeling. I want to get comfortable with the concepts of data science, understand it in a fun way, don't get too deep, but also be very creative. Like, I'm a creative person. Then what I would do is I would go for visualization, because in visualization, you don't really need, as we discussed earlier in the course, If you go for that, if you remember those two circles, the outer circle, the inner circle, in the outer circle, those are compulsory skills. You do need a bit of programming, but on the inner circle, that's where you can choose your specialization in a way. And so if you choose visualization, you don't really need that much programming. You need to understand kind of the logic behind programming, and that's that type of mindset will be helpful. But in visualization, you can get away without programming much. So if we now look at the map, what I would do is I would look for, okay, so where can I get started with visualization? The most basic visualization here is Tableau 10. There's two actually. There's Tableau 10 Basic and there's Power BI. So let's say with Tableau 10 Basic, because that's a very popular tool, number one in the market. Let's say that's going to be enough for me to start. I actually know a data scientist who has built a whole consulting career on his own at a very young age. He's 23, just by knowing Tableau and Excel. Just those tools, no programming, nothing else. He's consulting. He's doing some analytics for one of the top football statistics companies in Europe, but he's an independent consultant. So yeah, you can totally build a career on that. And so let's say you want to do Tableau 10 Basic. So in this map, if you look at Tableau 10 Basic on the left there, you can see that what pathways, like read it backwards, what pathways feed into it. So check out what feeds into it first. And there's a couple. So there's data science, which is good, but we've already decided so that like you could, from here, it means you could take the data science course and just take those parts which are related. It's a big course, and you could take those parts which are related to visualization and, just going like taking it easy in data science. Then there's data-driven marketing, but if you don't want to get into marketing, you don't really need to take that branch. But then there's also colors for data science. And that could be a good idea. So it shows that in order to supplement your visualization techniques, you can take either one of those branches working backwards, and that will help enhance your visualization. And like the colors course, I learned a lot from that myself, how to use colors. So I'll do that. And then you start working forward. So once you've done that, you don't have to do anything. You can, before the Tableau, you can even choose a Tableau course by itself, or you can do one of you or two of those branches that come before, and then you work forwards. And then you say, okay, so I'm already at that level that I've started. I know Tableau quite well. I've been doing some work. Now I want to move forward. Now you go, okay, what's the next step for me? Then you go to Tableau 10 Advanced. Okay, what's the next thing? And now you go back to the data science course and take those parts of the course that you didn't take originally. And then you keep going from there. So as you can see, like wherever you want to get started, just pick out that specific thing. Think about like working backwards, what feeds into it, what you might be a prerequisite. Think if it's relevant to you. And then if it is, do it. If it isn't, then just start where you want to start and then keep going from there.
And I would like to add that, we've received tons of questions of whether we should start with machine learning or deep learning or AI, because we don't know which is a branch of what. So I would just like to specify, the answer is actually very easy. You need to start with machine learning and then deep learning and then AI if you want to go up to AI. So if you're interested in those three big courses, well, that's the way you should go. And then if you don't have to take the Python and R courses before, it's just if you are interested in these softwares, programming languages, you can, but they're not necessary.
Yeah. And by the way, computer vision is not on that map. Well, at the time of when we're recording this, maybe later, definitely later it will be. Where would you put computer vision on the map?
I would put it linked to deep learning, because computer vision is to me a branch of deep learning, but it's also connected to artificial intelligence. Something between deep learning and artificial intelligence.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And that's I think also a good example that whenever we release a new course, we update the map. So, going back to what we said at the start, even if you don't take our courses, you can always check the map and see what how these things link, because we look at the top trending things in the world and, some things which we're trying to, like, we're aiming to create a very holistic view of everything, so that like every area of data science is covered. So with time is going to get updated. So you can always check it out to see, how has the map changed? How, how does it reflect that what's happening in the industry right now?